We believe that American patriots will not be free until we are liberated from the radical leftist ideologies, scare tactics, and violence.
Going against the stream, it don't matter what race or creed or color. You love this land and you're my brother. That ain't the place to no one don't stand. If you say you can't breathe, I'll show you we can. Ain't never gonna stop believing. We were born for freedom. We were born for freedom.
Back down. We will not cower in fear. We're not going to hide any longer. Our president will be reelected. Our police will be backed. And our sanity will be restored. Power to the Patriots!
Hey, y'all. How's everyone doing tonight? Hi, Lioness. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining in. Hey, Ragers, listen, the link is in the stream. So if you want to tap in, please come tap in, okay? Because this is all hands on deck. I need all the Ragers in the chat. I need everybody who's willing to at least speak their voice, if not necessarily show your face. You don't have to show your face. If you want to tap in, okay? But we have a lot of material to go through. This is going to be a really, really long stream, like a really long stream. We have a lot to go through. We're going to be talking about Ava DuVernay. We're going to be talking about Jim Harbaugh. We're going to be talking about what Colin is doing now. We're going to be talking about what kind of player he was in the past. Hi, Joe. Thanks for tapping in. So we got a lot to go through. We're going to look at a little bit of his donations. We're going to look at his money. We're going to figure out what his net worth is. And we're going to talk about that versus his donations. We're going to talk about the, what is it called? Oh, it's in such a great book. It's called Black Lives Matter. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this book, but this author actually talks about Colin Kaepernick receiving quite a bit of money, for all of his taking the knee and protesting and power to the people and police brutality and all that other bullshit. Okay. Colin Kaepernick. I tried to find some songs that had his name in it, but I'm probably going to get enough copyright violations as it stands because I'm going to be showing you some clips and stuff on YouTube. So we're not going to go there. There's a Little Debbie song with his name in it, but hold on, I'm trying to get my koozie on my water. My koozies. My TikTok stream is glitchy. Uh-oh. Jump out and jump back in. Make sure I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. I should be. I'm going to turn my phone off and turn it back on. Sometimes it'd be like that. But listen, to start, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the Patriot Brother crew is here. I'm sure the Gulag Gang will tap in at some point because, they're all friends with each other. They're not friends with me, but they're all friends with each other. I see how it is. That's all right. That's all right. Anyway, to preface everything, we are going to start off with I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 8 of Color, Communism, and Common Sense by Manning Johnson. Obviously, this has been a big influence over the channel ever since Trey recommended reading this book to me. I printed out every chapter. It's a really short read, so but it's very concise in illustrating what the problems were back then that we continue to see today with all the race baiting and the social justice economy that has been created as a result of motherfuckers being offended by shit. We will start out by reading this because this is the foundation of everything that I'm going to be saying today. So again, feel free to jump in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and put the link again. Feel free to jump in the chat if you like. You can chime in here and there, but let's just all please, if you want to come in, please stay on topic. Okay. We are talking about one person. We are talking about a situation. We are talking about the communist takeover. Okay. This is very specific. This is a very specific topic. Okay. Let's stay focused. All right. Drink some water. Let me try to get back on TikTok real quick. Okay, my 5G is on. Let's see if it works now. All right. Hopefully it will. Okay, anyhow. Okay. Modern day carpetbaggers. Let me go ahead and make a link for that. Not a link, a banner. All right. Excuse me. At the root of all present racial trouble is the interference in the internal affairs of Southern states by people not at all interested in an amicable settlement of any problems arising between Negro and white Americans. This interference comes from organizations and individuals in the North seeking to use the Negro. Among them are found communists, crypto-communists, fuzzy-headed liberals, eggheads, pacifists. We know that they're a fucking problem in this country. Idealists, civil disobedience advocates, socialists, do-gooders, conniving politicians, self-seekers, muddle-headed humanitarians, addle-brained intellectuals, crackpots, and plain meddlers. Like missionaries, they descend on the South I can't pronounce this word, I'm sorry. I want to say ostensibly to change or alter it to benefit the Negro, supposedly, allegedly. I'm adding that. In fact, in implication, all of them seek to bypass the responsible white and Negro leaders in the South to effect a solution. They employ a pattern of setting up provocative situations which inflame and agitate the white populace and then using it as propaganda here and abroad against the South in particular and in all of America in general. White Southerners who oppose these missionaries are pounced upon and labeled race baiters, reactionaries, Ku Kluxers, Proud Boys, white supremacists, and persons outside the law and so forth. They call us far right. That's what they call us now, is far right. Negro Southerners who oppose these missionaries are also attacked and labeled Uncle Toms, traitors of the race, handkerchief heads, white folks niggers, and so forth. Obviously, such name calling is a deliberate attempt on the part of these missionaries to scuttle all the progress made by the Negro since slavery by creating an atmosphere of distrust, fear, and hate. Like a witch stirring her brew, the missionaries stir up all the sectional, which they now call intersectional, and racial bitterness that arose in the wake of the Civil War and Reconstruction. They open old wounds. They thumb the pages of closed chapters. Ooh! Okay. They rake over the dying embers of old grudges, old grievances, old fears, and old hates. That time has been gradually consigning to history in the onward sweep of a young, lusty, healthy, and growing nation. Labeling opponents is a specialty for the Reds. Smear is a cardinal technique. Any label found in the red stockpile, you may be sure, is carefully made and selected to draw the maximum hate to the person or persons, the group or the organization to which it is attached. The use of such labels has a tendency to divide America. Nothing, in my opinion, would please the aforementioned weird assortment of missionaries more than a divided America, unless it is a Soviet America. They are forever predicting it at the same time, working tirelessly to bring it about. Moreover, while they talk about racial strife in America as providing grist for Moscow's propaganda mill, they are busy creating it. They are careful to hide the fact that they are responsible for the provocations of extremists, as was the case in Little Rock. In all red propaganda, here and abroad, such acts of extremists are made the symbol of treatment in the Negro in America. It is also the red smear pot in which all opponents of a forthwith solution of the race problem are tossed. The fact is, the majority of white Southerners are opposed to extremists. All white Southern juries have convicted some of them as troublemakers, and white Southern judges have sentenced some of them to long prison terms. This is deliberately or ignored, played down by the leftists. Facts. Mr. James P. Mitchell, Secretary of Labor, reported that the Department of Labor in a recent survey found that. Okay, and mind you, when he's speaking of recent survey, let's not forget that this book was published in 1958. What I am reading to you was written before 1958. Okay, so he's talking about a recent survey from the Department of Labor circa 1958. Purchasing power of the Negroes was more than $17 billion. And a third of the Negro population owned their own homes. Negro wage earners, he said, make 4.5 times what they earned in 1940. So we're talking about in less than 18 years, the wages had grown to 4.5 times what it was 18 years before. He listed important gains by Negroes in ownership of banks, insurance companies, businesses, civil service employment, and professional skilled crafts and clerical and sales fields. In education, he said, Negro college enrollments have increased at the rate of 6 times that of white students, while more than 98% of Negroes between ages 7 and 13 are in school. These facts, too, are ignored or played down by the leftist missionaries and irresponsible crusaders. In political warfare, it seems that a cardinal principle is to credit your enemy with only that which will hasten up the buildup for his destruction. The media of public information is far from free of communists and fellow travelers who operate under the guise of liberalism. They are ready at all times to do an effective smear job. Among these red tools may be found editorial writers, columnists, news commentators, and analysts, and in the press, radio, and television. They go overboard in giving top news coverage to racial incidents fomented by the leftists, and also those incidents that are interpreted as to show biased attitudes of whites against Negroes. This is a propaganda hoax aimed not at helping the Negro, but at casting America in a bad light in order to destroy its prestige and influence abroad, thereby aiding Soviet Russia in the penetration and conquest of Africa and Asia. Need I say more? Let me go ahead and finish it. We still got 2 more pages, and then we're going to get into the rest of the material. In the meantime, the Negro is the sacrificial lamb, the innocent victim of the widespread racial hate which the leftists are creating. The energizing of race hate is an asset to the red cause. The more, the merrier, so long as it erupts in cross burnings, threats, loss of jobs, refusal of loans, boycotts, bombings, fistfights, beatings, and shootings. I'm going to keep reading. I don't need to, but I'm going to keep reading. Thus, all racial progress based upon understanding, goodwill, friendship, and mutual cooperation, built up painfully over the years, is wiped out. White Americans are set against Negro Americans and vice versa. The stage is thus set for the opening of a dark and bloody era in Negro and white relations. Many white Northern politicians objectively aid the rapidly deteriorating racial situation through the exploitation of leftist propaganda to garner Negro votes. They care not a tinker's damn about the Southern Negro and simply flatter the Northern Negro, whom they consider a gullible fool. Getting elected and reelected is their only concern. Listen, y'all, how many times have we said this? Okay, it's every 4 years, right? It's every 4 years. Apparently, it was the same in 1958. Dishonorable mention should also be given to those white individuals and racial groups posing as friends of the Negro, only to use him as a spearhead to attain certain objectives. They constitute in no small way the financial sinews of the movement. Ooh, naturally, they project programs and policies on those Negro tools who live off of their largesse. Largesse? I can't pronounce that. Since he who plays the piper calls the tune. Ooh. What's up, brother? Since he who plays the piper calls the tune. One more time. Since he who plays the piper calls the tune, could anything less than submission be expected by these so-called Negro leaders? It does not matter to what extent Negro Americans generally feel the brunt of the racial hostility which these harmful programs engender, so long as the so-called Negro leaders win the approbation of their white masters and the money keeps rolling in. Come on. Come on. Significantly, among all the aforementioned groups and individuals, there is only one highly organized, trained, and disciplined force. That is the communists. So they are able to use, manipulate, and combine thus weird assortment of leftist missionaries in one way or another to bring about a social upheaval which will plow up Southern institutions and their roots. Indeed, the specter of the modern carpetbagger haunts the South. Reds, NAACPers, do-gooders, and other missionaries follow in the footsteps of those Northerners who, for narrow, selfish, personal, and political reasons, meddled in the affairs of the South in the period immediately following the Civil War. Like their predecessors, these modern-day carpetbaggers create only mischief, for they have no true interest in the South. A check of the record of these modern-day carpetbaggers will show you that most of them are either communists or persons who have been or so are now associated with the communist cause as a frontier endorser or fellow traveler. I ain't done. You hear me? What did I say? What did I just say? What did I just say? Come on. Come on now. Tell Popsicle to pop in my stream. I need his ass here too. Under the circumstances, it becomes the burden duty of every government agency in the interest of internal security to reveal the American people to the record of each individual, regardless of race, creed, religion, position, or rank, who is involved in inciting white and Negro Americans against each other. Colin Kaepernick. Naturally, the opponents of the publication of such information are going to scream louder than 10,000 pigs caught under a fence. Charges of the anti-Negro, anti-democratic bias will fill the air. Old man Smear will have a field day. In this way, as in the past, any real investigation of communism or pro-communism among Negroes is headed off, defeated, and driven into a blind alley. Color and race thus becomes sanctuary. Let me say that again. Color and race thus becomes sanctuary. On one hand, patriotic and honest politicians and officials do not dare invade it critically without the dire consequences of their personal reputations. On the other hand, this same sanctuary becomes the playground not only of the Reds, but of the hypocrites, demagogues, bigots, self seekers, opportunists, conniving politicians, and other dregs of human society. Too few Americans in our day have the courage of their convictions. Too will fly in the face of leftist opposition. Too few will stand up for the truth of the ominous and destructive storm of Me Tooism. Look, y'all, come on. Come on. You better ask somebody. It's highlighted right there. Can you see it? Can you see it? All right, let it focus. Focus. Okay. Y'all see where it says Me Tooism? Me Tooism? Okay, hold on. You see where it says that highlighted right there? I didn't write this. I didn't write this. Or the communist ideological regimentation that hangs like a pall over our country. Many take the attitude that it is better to be safe than sorry, or conclude, after a little difficulty or several reverses, that if you can't beat them, join them. The words God, country, and posterity have lost much of their substance and are only becoming a shadow in the hearts and minds of many Americans. Damn. Again, this was written in 1958, published in 1958. The great Negro Americans such as Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver should serve both as an inspiration and a reminder to the present and successive generations of the Negro Americans that they too can make their lives sublime. In departing, leave behind them footprints in the sands of time. The great surge of progress of the Negro since slavery can be largely traced to the work and efforts of these two men, their supporters, their emulators, and their followers. Theirs was a deep and abiding pride of race, a firm belief in the ability of their benighted people to rise above their past and eventually stand on equal plane with all other races. Moreover, equality was to them not just a catchword, but a living thing to be achieved only by demonstrated ability. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick's demonstrated ability. For those of you who wanted to know about the book, it is Color, Communism, and Common Sense, published in 1958 by Manning Johnson. Okay, this is chapter 8 that I just read to you. Oh yeah. I don't need to say anything else. But, I will. Okay, let's see who's all in the chat. Queen, hello. Nacho Delight, Joe, Raheem, happy you're here. Thank you. We got Zach in the house. Who owes you a date, Joe? Oh, Celine's here. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's keep going because we have a lot of material to cover. Okay, let's talk about Colin Kaepernick's demonstrated ability. I'm ready to, but first we're going to start with right now, and then we're going to go back in time. Okay, we're going to start with right now, then we're going to go back in time. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's take a look at, and this is where I'm going to get my stupid freaking what is it? My copyright strikes, but I don't care. Let's go ahead and look at the trailer for the stupid autobiography that he's narrating. We will come back to this. This shit is important because I'm gonna show you something later on. That's going to tie back. Okay. Nacho, if you want to take people onto your channel, go ahead and do it. It's fine. Do whatever you want, Nacho. But that is not the topic for tonight. If it does not interest you, you are more than welcome to come back at another time, and I'd be happy to talk about what you want to talk about. All right, hold up. Where's my share screen? Hold on. Why isn't this working? Ooh, YouTube knows. YouTube knows I'm coming for him. That's fine. I don't care, Nacho. Do what you want to do. But this, I'm just letting you know, the topic for in my stream for this time, this live stream is something else. But I would love, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Just let me know and you can come on and you can say whatever you like, okay? Oh, come on, really, StreamYard? Don't do this to me. Not right now. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. What they do to me. Like none of them. Okay, none of my tabs are working right now. This is insane. I'm gonna have to go out and come back in. I'm gonna end the broadcast. This isn't working. This is not cool.